have been on this open learning journey for last couple of years, largely associated with Arohi. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Pranav. More people can introduce Chaitra, Ashima.
Hi, I am Chaitra. I'm from Bangalore. I have two kids, and one is studying in sixth and one is in fourth. So I'm looking out for an alternative education system in whole, because I'm fed up with this rat race, and I just want to pull out my kids out of this race and put them into their own habitat where they can enjoy learning. So I'm expecting something different from the academics and other things. So hoping for to look forward for Arohi here.
Thank you. Welcome. We have some of our regulars. We have Rekha, Shikha, Tahura, and obviously Preeti. If any one of you want to just say hi to the group.
Hello, my name is Megha, and I have a 12-year-old son. His name is Guhan. He's also currently he's going to one of the schools, but I would like to try and find some alternative for him, because I don't think he's fitting in with the education system where he's going now. He has very limited scopes there, I feel, being a ADHD boy. He's very hyperactive and he cannot concentrate more. In a sense, he can't give 100% concentration from 9 to 3. But he is intelligent and smart. He can only take up things only for few, maybe I can say for a span of 30 minutes and not more than that. So that's the reason I was thinking maybe alternative education would be best for him, rather than trying to fit him into a very so-called very like, this is almost like a game oriented, I can say, the proper schooling nowadays. So I just want to take him off from that race. This is from my side. Thank you. And I'm happy to see so many people here who are having the same kind of interest. Thank you.
Thanks, Megha. In fact, you giving me an opportunity to introduce myself. I'm also an ADHD, not necessarily very intelligent or smart. So I'm introducing myself. I'm a pakka ADHD. Just wanted to share that with you. Yeah. Okay. So I will continue my introduction. I have two children. My daughter is 23 and she has not done any 10, 12 school, college. And she's living a life of her choice, doing lots of interesting things. And my son is 17. He's also not done any schooling or 10th, 12th or any college, nothing. He's into football. So these very quickly, we can bring in more examples from their life and from the life of so many children whom I've been fortunate enough to be with in the last, let's say about 12, 13, or actually 21 years, but last 12, 13 doing, working on open learning. So that's my introduction. Yeah, let's continue. There's still a couple of more people.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, how are you? Sorry,
Yeah, please go ahead.
Right, we are Ashima and Arjun. Recently moved to Bangalore. We have two young kids, both boys. The elder one is 5-year-old and the younger one is 3-year-old. And we're trying to explore where they can enjoy the system. And I think that's the reason we are here.
Sure. Cool. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Preeti. I'm a mother of 9-year-old and with Arohi since 2 years now, roughly 2 years now, and loving the journey. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shikha. I'm from Bhopal. I have a son of 10-year-old, Vehan, and last few months I'm with Arohi. And Ruhi actually cleared my path for open learning. And I'm doing the same with my son. Even I'm learning a lot with him. So that's all. It's been fun.
Cool, superb. We have a nice group today, Viji, and a lot of people who have joined in for the first time, and some of the regular ones. Hi, Arpita. You want to quickly introduce?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sure.
Yeah, hi, I'm Arpita. We live in Bangalore. I have a daughter who's 10 years old. She is not happy with the regular school system, and we are also not so happy. So we are thinking of joining ROV. So this is my second session. Last time I joined very lately, so I didn't know it was only for the parents who are sharing their experiences. But today I know that this is for starters, and I have some questions prepared, so I might get those cleared this time.
Yep, sure. Super. Okay. Have I missed out anybody else? Yeah, I'll also record this. Right. So incidentally, this is the 99th meetup. So we are like the nervous 90s. Next Saturday, we celebrate the 100th meetup. Okay, and it's been amazing meeting so many people who are thinking, considering, doing open learning in so many different ways. So it's amazing and good to see so many new faces. A lot of people from Bangalore, but also from other cities. Awesome. So what I will do is, what I will do is I will give me one moment. Okay, I will just quickly share a small presentation. So that will take about, let's say, about 7 to 8 minutes, and just to kind of set the tone of the whole thing and kind of introduce open learning to especially for new people. So for people who have been coming, this would be a repetition, so please bear with me. And then we will throw it open to question and answers. And I am looking forward to a jam-packed Q&A today. So let me do this part as fast as I can. Right. Okay. Right. I'm hoping everybody is introduced. Whoever is not, you can introduce on the go whenever you are talking or whenever you feel like. Right. So what we are essentially first talking very quickly about is about open learning. And to me, the kind of visual kind of sums it up. It kind of says that I'm in the, not just open as an outdoor open, but I'm open, I'm free, I'm enjoying what I am doing. That's the essence of, I think, open learning, the joy of open, of being able to do things what you want to do, what you like doing. So that's kind of part of what open learning is all about. It's also about togetherness. It's also about sharing, caring, and doing things together, which we'll talk about in more detail. Before that, let me quickly set to rest. There are a lot of terms that people use: open learning, unschooling, homeschooling, free schooling, free education, so on and so forth. Let's not worry too much about it. Let's just think of it like a continuum. So if you see the red arrow on the screen, on one side is no structure, no curriculum, open, the child has complete responsibility of his or her learning, and the child chooses. So that's on one end. On the other end is totally structured, completely curriculum driven, which is what the conventional school is. And open learners can be anywhere on this continuum. They could be somewhat structured, lot structured, little structured. They could look at different options as they go along in their journey, depending on what the family thinks and family wants, and so on and so forth. So there are all kinds of permutation, combination. There's no one formula. There is no one system. So whoever was looking for a system, well, we are looking for a non-system. As in, we are saying, let's let go of all system and let the child be the system we work with, not anything else. Yeah. So that's the whole idea of open learning. So where we started this journey was by asking this question: what is the purpose of education? And we were kind of disappointed because most of the signals that we were getting was that, oh, purpose of education is to, learn and learn to earn, and get a job. And that sounded very, whatever, very limiting, if nothing else, right? And for us, the whole idea was to live life, meaning whatever age you are, you should live life to the fullest. And that is what we think is learning and education is all about, which is why I don't like to call it a system, because life is not a system. It's living, right? So if I think of it in that way, that, okay, education, learning, and life are all synonyms, then the obvious thought comes is that, hey, I need to be the leader of my life. Otherwise, I'm not living. If somebody else tells me what I should be doing now and what I should be doing later, or what I should be so-called studying and what I should be learning and so on, or becoming. So then I'm not really living my life. Then I'm living what somebody else is telling me to live. So the important part of open learning is I am the leader for myself and I'm responsible for myself. So it starts with not freedom, as most people think. Open learning is not about freedom. It's about taking one's responsibility, and as a parent, giving the child and actually each family member taking their own responsibility and saying, okay, I'm responsible for myself. So whether it's a 3-year-old, 10-year-old, 13-year-old, or 23-year-old, or a 53-year-old, each one of us is responsible for ourselves. Now, when that happens, we look at 4 propositions that come into a picture. And the first one is very interesting, that we don't need to bind anybody with any curriculum. Each one can design what their life should contain at that moment. If I'm 10-year-old, I can decide what my life should contain today. And that is my curriculum. It could be cricket whole day. It could be painting half a day. It could be 20 different things in a day or a week. Whatever I decide, that's my curriculum, because that's my life. And I want to live it now, right? That's the whole idea. And related to the first proposition is the second one, that if that is the case, why does anybody need to teach me? Meaning, if I need, I'll go and learn. I'll ask somebody, hey, teach me this. But more than that, I can learn in so many different ways. So child can learn in, YouTube, books, doing it yourself, working with others, so on and so forth. There's like no dearth of sources from which I can learn, and I decide how I want to learn something or do something. And if you put these two together, then we really don't need anybody to assess me. Anyway, who likes us being assessed? I don't know if you like being assessed. I don't like being assessed at all. I like to self-assess myself, reflect on myself, think about myself, ask people for feedback. I think that's more interesting than saying, hey, you are being assessed. And only then the assessment will tell you how good you are, or whether you are capable of certain thing or not. That sounds not so nice, actually. And the last proposition is that we all don't need to run on the same path. There are so many options available. So schools, college, degrees, certifications all become options. And then it's not about I have to do this, rather, what do I want in life? And then I can look how I want to go ahead in life. People can choose self-learning, people can choose apprenticeship, people can choose degrees also, or people can just learn by doing things or through certain courses and so on and so forth. There's so many, I would say hundreds of options. So that's primarily what open learning is all about. And I want to show you a very small 1-minute video, which is just to kind of show you how children, when they are in open learning, they just think freely. They don't think in terms of this has to be like this or this has to be like that. So it's more like, oh, whatever is coming to my mind right now, I'm living that. So here's a quick small video.
Connecting with people is amazing.
I like chit-chatting with my friends while eating.
An opportunity to take all the guests around the tour, around the campus.
Currently, I'm working on improving myself so that I can play in a club next year.
I get resources and support to fulfill my passion for sketching.
I sketch many things of animals, birds.
In Ruhi, I am a guest and I
can find my space here, pursuing my interest on upcycling.
I drum to express my emotion and it makes me feel lighter. In bird watching, I learn a lot of things. What is color of bird and
I like the time when I spend with the community playing sports.
I spend time doing projects related to cinematography and video editing.
I like organizing trips in Narohi क्योंकि your opportunity is to organize trips.
Video making is awesome. It's productive and you get an awesome outcome.
I like to do electrical work. I put many.
I connect with the planning here. Gives me clarity.
I like playing with the cats. I learn crochet and teach others crochet.
எனக்கு சமைக்கிறதுக்கு இங்க ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும்.
All the resources here are new to me to explore.
Right. So that was just to give you a quick pulse of how open learners think and are more at the moment with their thinking rather than trying to follow something. So that was a little about open learning, and to take it kind of into connecting it to Arohi. So what is Arohi? Is a community of families who are doing open learning, and all we just do it together. It's as simple as that, and that's fun because then there can be so much of connections between people of similar interests, though they could be of any age, and there can be a lot of collaborations. People can do things together. Again, of different ages, people can support and mentor each other. A child can mentor an adult, a child can mentor another child, an adult can mentor another child, and so on. So there's a lot of support to each other. And we are kind of co-live together. And that's the whole idea of Arohi, that, hey, open learning is so amazing. So why do it alone? Why not we all get together? So there are families all across the country who get together. And so they get together through the online community, and we meet on a regular basis, almost on a daily basis, different people meeting different people, doing different things, whoever wants to do whatever they want to do with whomever they want to do. And we also have a campus about 60 kilometers from Bangalore, but in Tamil Nadu, where people can come and live and stay and do things together. Yeah. So these are the two options of how Arohi works. Yep. I think I've taken more than my share of time. But I hope that kind of set the little tone. And before, Dwiji, would you be introducing the theme today, or we start with Q&A and let's play with that? How do you want to go about? Okay. So apart from the regular question and answers and thoughts and sharings, which you all will have, we also like to have a theme for every meetup that just gives us a little way to, kind of play around. And today's theme is about playing. Play, not just playing sports or games, but play as the very form of learning, or rather a primary form of learning. And we believe that that is what we essentially do. The whole day we play around. We can play around with things, we can play around with ideas, we can play around with colors, we can play around with so many things, with my own emotions, with my own social relationships, with my own understanding about nature or science, or I can play around with electronics, I can play around with numbers, I can play around with actually anything. And why do we play? Because, or rather, what do we play about? Each one based on their interest. I'm sure here there are people who like to play with clothes and fabrics and get into designing, and there are people here who likes to Dwiji saying playing is essentially doing without the baggage, whichever baggage, no baggage at all. So yeah, playing is when you don't have to worry about the outcome. You're just playing and enjoying, and a whole lot of learning happens. So, which is very different from a structured kind of a learning where there's a definitive outcome to be learned in a definitive way, and so on and so forth. And Dwiji was sharing with me that how, so many adult organizations nowadays talk about training, and training has to be through play and activity and engagement. And we say, hey, why do we need to do that when from childhood we can just do that way? Because children essentially play and learn everything. So that's the theme for today. So we can either start with some thoughts on this, if that is what you would like to start with. But if you're holding on to your questions and you say, no, we'll do play later, first play with my questions, then we can do that also. So it's all open. Yeah, we can play with questions. So please feel free to ask. And my co-families from Arohi, please answer. Yeah, I should go mute now. Yeah, so you can ask questions in chat, you can ask questions on mic, and yeah, if more people can come on video, that would be nice. We can have a more visual connect with all of you. Yes.
Hi, can I go with my question? Yeah, I've written down some things, but my first question is benefits of open learning from the regular school. If somebody can give me some pointers there, that will help me understand a bit.
So Arpita, I can tell you why there is a silence, because we don't try and compare ourselves with we're so, it's like we're so far away from there that we don't really think, oh, vis-a-vis that, what is the benefit? Or the other way to look at it is, let's see who are the beneficiaries. Forget what is the benefit, because the beneficiaries will draw the benefits. It's like if I open the whole world to you, then you decide what benefits you want from the world. But the act of opening the world, you are the beneficiary. So if you would like, you can ask who are the beneficiaries, and I'm sure then people can jump in, right, Preeti?
Yeah,
And Pranav, yeah.
the question was too tempting. I shoot my friend out of his office. Yeah. So, couple of things, Arpita. One, like Ratnesh said, there's no point in comparing this and that, because that is an education schooling system. Here we are not trying to school anybody, right? So how do you compare between apples and oranges? Right. So yes, they both will make you, satisfied and quench your hunger or thirst, but they are two different things. And the other thing is that if you haven't seen the website, please do go browse. There's tons of material about why open learning. One of the primary things, like Ratnesh introduced or shared in the introduction itself of the theme, that is the natural form of learning, where you play, you decide what you want to play for whatever reason, right? You decide what you want to do, and then you do it. And then after you are done with the doing, then you think back and try to reflect and see what is it, where are you, and how are you, right? As compared to earlier. So the idea of open learning is, like Ratnesh was saying, is the natural progression of life. It is not about a system of education, it's a way of living. So that's why we say that it's not just the child who joins the community, it's not just the child who takes up open learning, but we as a family take up open learning. So the idea is to practice open learning in our own lives, not just for the sake of our children. Right? So, so tons of differences. So just giving you a brain dump here. Please, Pranav.
Yeah. I'll just try to bell the cat. Well, it's very difficult. I don't want to compare anything. I don't want to get into that. This is right or that is wrong. It is not about that. So I'm making very clear, Arpita. It is not about this is right, that is wrong. We are just chosen to different paths. That's the only thing. There is one way of going. There is one path and there's another path. That's it. While on this path, what we get here is we work as a family. So it's a very bonded kind of and very attached sort of a family where child, the father, the mother, they all come together, they understand each other, and it's not only about child's journey, it's about everybody's journey. Like child can contribute to my life, I can contribute to my wife's life, my wife can contribute to. So it is a function of everything, and we all jointly decide how do we structure a day or how do we go about doing things. So that is one aspect. Second is the time part. It allows us a lot of time in sense ke, it gives us that freedom of time. So when I say freedom of time, there is no particular like say ये vacation time है, ये vacation time नहीं है. So today we do lot of road trips. So we spend about 20 days on road, and we can choose to be there at any time of the year. We don't have to worry about ke May hai ya, I don't know how vacations work these days. Like it is May, April, whatever. So we don't have to bother about that. So that helps us, and we can explore the way we want to explore. So we chart out our itinerary and the way we want to do it. So that is the time aspect of it. So time in the sense of the year and also the time of the day. So there is no like 8 बजे उठ के करना है और 5 बजे बच्चे को ये करना है. There is no such definitive external built structure. There is a internally designed structure. So I hope I am able to communicate what I'm trying to say. So that is this thing. So time plays a very key role. Third is when Ratnesh says it's a community. So when we as a community work together, there are people who share in their learnings or their experiences, or some. So it's not necessarily the adult. It could be a child also. So child can bring their energy in something that the child wants to do, and the expert. So say somebody, when I say expert, a person who is a say computer programmer. So he's the one taking out the ownership of teaching the group or the community. Okay, I will teach programming. So now a child is learning from the expert who is into the field and who understands the industry. This is one aspect. It is not like teacher and the student. It is about you're interacting with an expert. So that is a different. There is somebody who's into electronics. There is somebody into probably art who cherishes art. That person might not be an artist by like in a way of some sort of a commercial way, but is passionate about art. So I hope we understand that in school the teachers have a limited syllabus and they have to finish that syllabus, and they have to work around that syllabus. So again the point here is not to say that school is doing something wrong, because teachers are under pressure. System has put that pressure. Children is under pressure. Now further to add, I can keep adding. I don't know if somebody else wants to add something, but I can keep adding to this because there are many things. Because and just to put very simply, just imagine, can there be 40 children in a classroom wanting to do exactly same thing at the same time? Is it really possible? Do you really expect a class of say standard 4th or 3rd or 2 or whatever it is, and वो 40 बच्चों को वो टाइम पे वही करना है? मैं ये नहीं कर रहा हूँ, कह रहा हूँ कि वो बच्चों को वो चीज करना ही नहीं है. I'm not saying that child doesn't want to do that particular thing, but not necessarily at that time. So that also plays. So there are many such things. So you can keep adding on this. Maybe somebody else can take it forward from here.
I'll take it forward. So yesterday I was examined by a conventional school-going parent, and I was like bombarded with many questions, and I was like, oh, I have to justify open learning and something like that. So in that when he was asking so many questions, so one thing again, with the fact that none of the schooling ideas are good or bad or superior or inferior or nothing like that. It's your choice. It's the choice that we make. We take this path or that path. It is up to us. So one thing that I could clearly say yesterday and even today, I'll say that when we are going to school, I have gone to school, and considering that when we are going to school, that 8 to 10 subjects that we are exposed to when we are going to school, that makes life, that is complete. Is it really true? Like we are exposed to 8 to 10 subjects, or maybe maximum 12, 13, 14 subjects. But are we really limited to those 8, 10, 12, 15 subjects? Is life not beyond that? Do we not have thousands of other subjects in life that we can explore, we can see, when we are not framed in that structure? So that is one very important thing that I feel, when you're not really a conventional schooler and when you're open to everything, then you can also see that beyond those 10, 12 subjects, what are more other subjects which a child could be interested in, which a family could be interested in, community could be interested in, and you can explore it as per your time, as per your interest, as per your liking, as per your passion. That's it. That's the thing.
I'd like to share something. I think probably everyone told this is not about comparing, definitely. But one aspect that I really love is the freedom to choose what we want to learn and freedom to drop what we don't want to learn. That is something very, very, very useful. And when kid gets that freedom, he does things very differently. So in fact, the same question I asked to my son a few days back. So I would suggest you try both and ask your son or kid. He will give you the difference.
Hi, even I wanted to say something. Again, it is not that school is good or open learning is good. It's a choice. I think 2 meetings back, we have actually discussed about this. And when I said something about the school, and the school teacher itself said that this thing happened actually in school. So it's a burden. I agree with the school teachers have the burden. But like it's been going to be 2 years that we are doing open learning. I'm doing open learning with my son, 10 years old. At present, he was sitting here, and when you questioned this, so he said, no, I think he only replied me that, no, open learning is better than school. So I asked him why. So just now he said कि नहीं यहाँ पे सब्जेक्ट कुछ भी हो समझ जल्दी आ जाता है, बेटा स्कूल में क्यों नहीं आता समझ में? तो I don't know, but यहाँ जल्दी समझ में आ जाता है. So this is actually a difference I have seen in from last 2 years. It's a lot of difference in him. He has become more confident, I can say. He was a very shy boy, and he has started exploring things. Like first of all, I was confused before, and then I put one question in ROE only, that after every 1 or 2 or 3 months he keeps changing his interest. So now I think it is good for him. He's learning small things, but good. Even I'm enjoying now. I'm enjoying with him. So it's like now he actually started answering things, so which I have never seen him. He's a very, very shy boy, very shy boy. Now he's fine. Confidence level has actually increased. So there's a change, I think so. This is my goal. So again, it's a personal choice, whether school or that. That's it.
Okay, I think Arpita, did that kind of started to answer your question? As everybody's saying, there's so many more points or answers that we can explore. Okay, do you have something follow up? Otherwise, Meta had put some question in the chat. So do you want to do a follow-up question, or we can go to that and then come back? Okay, cool. So Meda is asking about NIOS. Well, Meda, first of all, I don't think this forum is really to talk about NIOS per se. NIOS is just one way of getting the 10th and 12th certificate, if that is what you are really looking for. And their website is fairly rich with all the information, and there are lots of other places on the internet, which will give you information about NIOS, including some on our website, but I would like you to explore more on the internet itself, unless you have a very, very specific question, which some of us can help you. In fact, we normally discuss why 10. That is a more interesting topic because that topic is not discussed elsewhere. Like you said, that practicality in life. Yeah, meaning I don't know what is practical in life. All I know is that the real practical is when I do what I really like doing. Then as Shikha was saying, then the understanding, learning automatically happens because I'm not doing it out of any force of any external examination, but I'm doing it for my joy. That's my personal experience, at least with my children and with many other children. So yeah, that's the little thought on why 10th and why not. So a lot of times we discuss that in this forum as to, why should we give 10? Why is it so necessary? It's actually not necessary at all, right? But anyway, if you have anything very specific to NIOS, you can ask. We'll try to see if we have the know-how of that and we can answer. Yeah. More questions, a lot of new people. Please come on video and or an audio and share. If you're not able to come on video, that's okay. You can still share on audio or chat.
I have one more question.
Sure, Arpita.
Yeah. Actually, when we decide to go for open learning, that means kid is always around and a kid is doing everything he wants or she wants. But how do we manage our work and their learning process? How do we manage that? I'm like confused there. Because when they go to school and we have our time to work, like do our professional work or whatever work we do. So how do we manage here? If anybody can give some tips there, ideas.
I think Pranav, actually you answered it, but would you like to just quickly re-answer it? And Rekha also, I think, wanting to answer. Yeah, go ahead, Rekha, please. You might just want to introduce also.
Yeah, I'm Rekha and I'm associated with Arohi for the past 2 years. Open learning with my kid for the past 1 year. Though I don't work professionally, I don't do any job as such, but I would say they engage themselves. They engage themselves without any much of a problem. It is we who think that they need our support, but to truly tell you, Arpita, they are very much capable of engaging themselves and keeping us also engaged. So I don't think it should be a worry that how to keep them engaged. They are much more capable of that. Actually, the school system, one of the points to add to the school system, the difference, school system, I guess it makes things so very structured that they get bored out of it.
Yeah, I think Pranav had also made a very important point that as a family, then you work together and each one. So it's not about the child doing open learning. It's you also who are doing open learning. So you are sharing, discussing what you are doing. Child is sharing what I am going to do today or this week. So each one kind of decides, discusses, and then we all support each other. And then you enlarge this family equation to a community. If you think in terms of Arohi, and we all are there to connect, to collaborate, to do things together. So that's so it's never an individual who does open learning. It's always the family, and then if you join the community, then the whole community. So it's all together. So the child could turn back and ask the same question to you. Mom, you sure you will take care of your time? You're sure you will be disciplined? And sometimes we are, as Rekha is saying, less disciplined than the children themselves. So, yeah.
And can I just add something here, Ratnesh?
Please.
When the child wants to play, does as a parent we ever have to be engaged? The child will find his way to play, right? He'll find his friends. He'll find the game. He'll find the sport. Whatever he has to do, he'll go down in the building, whatever the community, society, and he'll spend. He probably is there for 4 or 5 hours, and you won't even see him. even if probably you are looking for him, you won't find him. So it's the same with probably, once, of course, it doesn't start very easily. I'll be very honest. It works as a family. You also learn it as a process. You learn, okay, how it works, how as a family we understand each other's time, how do we respect each other's time, who's involved into what at what time, and it then becomes a cohesive sort of a thing where, and then the structure works by itself. Then it's driven by itself. So it will happen organically. There is no like set formula to it ke aisa aisa karenge to ho jayega. Every family will have a different equation based on your things. So that's the thing.
Arpita, did that kind of answer that question? I think that in some ways, Pranav is also inviting you to jump in and then see the fun of it.
And I'm already finding Arpita's energy very bubbly.
Okay, more thoughts, more questions. As I said, a lot of new people in this group. So please open up, please ask whatever are your thoughts. I know you would like to listen, but if you ask your questions, then we can direct the discussion in the areas that, yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, actually, don't mind my naive questions, as I did my homework regarding Arohi. I was jumped into the call by my wife. However, I basically understand it's open learning, which is great. That's how the ideal situation should be. However, the percentage, if you divide the percentage of the world and the community, like open learning is quite less right now. And let's say tomorrow, if the kid wants to get into the professional part of the journey in terms of education or a subject as a career, there are some certifications and things like that which are also being the other universities or other boards do accept that, or no? Did I able to answer ask my question correctly or no?
Yes, absolutely. That's a very common question, and it's not a naive question. It's a question which people keep struggling for many, many years.
I'll tell you why. In fact, I'll cut you. I'll tell you why, because that's where I would like to bring in my education. So I've done my I'm double graduate from IM in Wharton. But that didn't happen regularly. In fact, I was with Xavier's. I switched my school, and it was me who basically went to the other school and took the admission before they gave me the admission, and I asked my parents to come in. So why I'm asking this is that open learning is good. The kid will understand what they like, what they don't like. They pick up the things. And tomorrow, if they think that I want to take it professionally, then how the transit will happen? Okay. Which helped me was because of the certificates. There was no problem in the transit.
Sure. So that is one route, one route which we are anyway very used to seeing around us, where people get a certain degree, and based on that degree, they end up doing a particular kind of job or profession or career. Yeah. But there are umpteen examples of people who are into a professional space without a degree. So degree is not, or certification is not a requirement for most of the jobs. Perhaps you can leave one or two, like let's say doctor or CA, or even CA's job, a lot of back-end people can do without necessarily the stamp of the CA. But what I'm trying to say is there's only a handful of jobs where a degree is mandatory. I would say about 10 to 15. The rest of the 9,985 jobs do not require any degree or certifications.
Well, I understand, and I'm talking about those 5 jobs only. If the kid,
but why limit yourself to 5 jobs? I would say, and just listen to me. If at any point of time the child wants to be in that domain, the child can always give an examination. That's what I said at the beginning. then an examination or a certification only becomes an option. Just like somebody asked about NIOS. I think Meena is about NIOS. So yeah, that is one option if you want to get into that, right? But the problem is for 5 or 10, 15, whatever options, why should I just generally do the whole thing? So if one needs it, if one wants it, that option is definitely available. But that is not a mandatory. That is what I wanted to share with you. Just to share a few examples, there are children in our community there's a boy who is 15 years old, who is already into stock trading. He trades already. He's into technical analysis. He does programmings to predict where the stock curves will go, where to invest, where to exit, and so on and so forth. And he just started 2 years back. Right? He has not gone to school at all. So I'm just giving you one example. So one can be a professional in a financial field without even giving, for that matter, forget 10th, without even going to do any mathematics or any schooling for that matter, right? Because the child is interested, he picked up everything. Now he analyzes financial tables and financial data of companies and all kinds of interesting things. I can give you another example of a group of children actually in Ruhi who are totally into designing, and they are already doing live projects for clients, and they do different kinds of design projects, and right from logo design to kitchen design to so on and so forth. And none of them have any qualification or any degrees in design or even 10 or any of those, certification. So I'm just giving you examples of people who can, because they are interested in that field, they can jump right in. Why wait till 20 to join any profession? Why can't I be in that field as early as I want to be? So that's the beauty of open learning. Not that everybody needs to. Somebody wants to explore a lot of fields. Like my daughter is 23. She's still exploring a lot of different fields, and she just enjoys jumping from one field to another. And that's fantastic because she gets to enjoy so many different things. So it's just different people are enjoying what they want to do without the constraint of degree. But if they want, anybody can go and like get a certificate. Right. If that is the concern. Right. That is not at all difficult.
And currently in this scenario, the pandemic and things like that, it is all from home, or do we also have a campus or somewhere where these kids can go and on a regular basis and
Sure, that's what I had covered in my presentation, that there is a campus as well as the community is also online. So it really depends on a particular family, whether you want to be part of the community in the campus or you want to be part of the community from your home. Okay. That is irrespective of the pandemic.
So if let's say, for example, if you want to be the part of the community where not from the home, I believe you mentioned a place which is 50 kilometers from Bangalore. Do we also have some other places in India wherein physically these guys can go?
Not really. I mean, they can go to many places, zillions of places, but Ruhi is only in one place.
All right.
Yeah. Then and the other options is meeting other families, going to their homes, and kind of forming your own networks. Yes.
Right. Good. Right. Thank you so very much.
Sure.
I'll jump in again if I have any questions.
Please. This is just the beginning.
Yes.
Vijay is saying the line of the day. The world is our playground. Absolutely. We go anywhere and everywhere.
Hi.
Can I? Sorry.
Sorry, it's okay. You can explain.
No, I was just trying to, just elaborate on what Ratnesh was saying and probably trying to answer, Ashima's husband's question. My daughter is like, just to give you a perspective. So my daughter is 9-year-old. She loves writing, and in the community itself, she got an opportunity to do internship for some travel related, writing, and she has applied for it now at the age of 9. And so I'm not saying whether she's getting that opportunity or she's not getting that opportunity. She will get selected, not selected, but somebody has approached the community to to look for some a kind of a skill. So the things are changing, the world is changing, and people are open to accepting skill rather than the certificate more. in the present times, and there are many such opportunities coming up. So I think so we should be open to it as well, as a thought.
Thanks, Pranav. That's a lovely example. Yeah, Diba, your turn now.
Actually, I'm not prepared with questions, or I don't have any idea about what is all about, the Arohi is all about, or what I'm going to do here. I don't have any idea. But couple of years back, my friend was into Arohi. Even now she is with Arohi, but she resides out of India. She was telling about Arohi, and she was always telling about open learning. That time I was not open enough to accept it or understand it, because that was the time my son was in kindergarten. So I thought, okay, because as a parent, we always think, that is very small. Sorry. So we always think whatever I say, my child will not listen. So he will obey only the kindergarten teacher. So I thought, okay, it's better for him to go to school. But for past 2 years, I was always thinking, because my son and my friend's daughter was same, they are same years, actually, both are 8 years old. So seeing her, I'm like, oh, I want the same or similar kind of life for my son also. It's like putting them into one box, study only that 8 subject and do the exam. It's like limiting my child's life into something. So I feel I wanted to come out of the schooling tradition, but it happened without our planning. My husband lost a job a year before. So then I thought, if I have to calculate my money, whatever I had that time, should I pay for the school, or I should have it for my survival until he gets the next job? So obviously I chose my survival. So that's how the unschooling started. And we started, I didn't start homeschooling. I don't say that. I am not prepared for that. I don't even know what is homeschooling all about. But I just let him do whatever he wanted to do. Until when he was going to school, he didn't know to ride cycle without a support wheel. He always wanted a support wheel, and he wanted to go by car until the school, because he was afraid of the street dogs. And but after that, everything changed. Now he is walking on the road without caring about the stray dogs, and he's riding cycle without the support wheel. He was actually doing good, but actually we were in Malaysia until January, because we didn't have a return flight because of COVID to come back from Malaysia to Chennai. So we were surviving without job in another country for 10 months. So my son had to go to library, pick books, or play in the street. That's it. We could not afford for anything else. So it was a very nice time. Like without any purpose, we never did anything in my life. In my consciousness, we didn't do anything. But that time, we ourselves we crossed the street and went to the empty land where there was nothing. And we ourselves digged some unwanted weeds, and we planted some trees and plants, because we had nothing to do for 10 months. So we were doing something, and we taught him to ride cycle without support wheels, and he was doing all that. Was then I learned, okay, this is what open learning, and I wanted to join Arohi from that time. But now we are back to Chennai, and we are surrounded with sisters and grandparents and everyone. Now it is really tough to do the open learning, because they are trying to teach him what they already knew. If I stop them, they are literally fighting with me, and they are like, oh my God, why did you come back? You are spoiling our routine. You're not letting me see the serials from the TV, and you're not letting us speak whatever we want to your son. What, only you have a son, or what? Even we have kids, we have seen you grew. So we know what values are. So we are teaching him, wake up on time, take bath on time, or eat on time, or whatever it is. Like, but whatever, however I wanted him to be, he was like that. Or beyond that, when he was doing something I was like, okay, this is so nice. But after coming here, it's like whether to control him or control my parents or control my sisters, because they are teaching him all unwanted things which we don't want actually.
The
So
challenge is inside the house.
yeah, actually, when we were in foreign country, no one was involving in our family. Of course, they used to ask me why your son is not going to school. We are always seeing him running on the road, playing with the dogs, riding the cycle, always drenching like in the rain. As a family, we walk in the rain. So they all see us like, from which world this family came from. But we were enjoying our own life there. But after coming here, everyone are criticizing at us, which is really challenging now. So we are really looking forward when he will get another job. We will go to our own house, to our own bubble. So before that, we would really love to come to Arohi in Hosur, at least for a week. We want to stay there and not unschool, but I want my son to forget what all my family taught him in these 3 months.
Superb. I've been grinning since you've been talking. So I'm like literally my cheeks are amazing. I have two quick thoughts. So one is obviously you are welcome to visit, stay with us for as many weeks as you want to, and that invitation is open to all the families. So that's how the campus is open to everybody. The point that I want to make is that your child being taught by relatives, grandparents, you being questioned, your child being questioned is amazing. Please accept all of them as gifts. They are not, that is open learning is all about. Everything is a gift. Okay, if somebody says, I will teach you how 2 + 2 is 4, that's a gift. The next person says, I will teach you how 2 + 2 is 5, that's also a gift, and so on and so forth, till 2 + 2 becomes a zillion, right? So please, everybody interacting with the child, with you, is a gift. That is how we look at, like how Dwichi was saying, the world is our playground, and everybody in this world is a resource person. They may come from whatever point of view, whatever belief system, whatever thought processes. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that what is life, right? So don't worry if you don't need to go back to the bubble. The only bubble that we have available is this universe, right? Till we find the entire universe. Otherwise, we are in this universe or this world or this earth, and let's enjoy whomever we interact with, right? If today you see a bird, say thank you to that bird, and so on and so forth. That's how we work as open learners, right? For us, it's not about this or that. It's not about this versus that. It's about whatever comes in, that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity to interact and enjoy. So when you are here, yes, we would love to enjoy your company and your presence, but wherever you are, please enjoy. And that is how at least we look at open learning, right? It isn't about a place, isn't it about a particular kind of people, it isn't about a certain kind of environment, but it's all about how I grow, enrich myself wherever I am, right? Yeah.
But how to manage, like when I grew up, my mom always used to have some stereotype values. Like, this is like this is shameful, you cannot do this.
Yeah,
This is
wait. We can get into one 10-day discussion on that. What I'm suggesting to you, start with the thought process. Let's say somebody is coming in with a moral story. Let's say honesty is the best policy, and let's say you are not in sync with that. That's okay. You are not in sync with that, but let the child receive another gift called whatever, that the gift which that person is giving. The child is capable to process your thinking, Senthil's thinking, Diba's thinking, grandparents thinking, neighbors thinking, relatives thinking, political parties thinking, and every thinking in this world. He will possibly read thousands of books, so he will have to manage thousands of thinking. Right? He will look at some 1 million videos. He will have to manage 1 million thinkings. So please don't think that he is less capable in any which way to filter, to make sense of the world around him. And that is the beauty of open learning. As I said, everything is a resource, everything is a joy. Then every day is a celebration.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry. Yeah. So I think that is where this word play that Vijay has suggested for today's session is so beautiful. That it's not just playing about play as in games or toys. How about playing with our own thinking first? How we look at people, how we look at ideas, how we look at beliefs, how we look at resources. If we start playing with it, then as I'm possibly saying for the third time, then everything is a resource. So that is so beautiful, Vijay, that play is one of the primary ways in which open learners live and learn, because play is everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk, but I can't resist. See, Biba, that's why we were talking about play. Play is when you take out the baggage of saying my child should be open educated or open learning child, right? When you free yourself from that baggage, that is when you can really let your child be what they want to do. So in some sense, just building on what Ratnesh was saying, the responsibility of doing something is not on your shoulder, it's on your child's shoulder. Let him or her deal with his or her grandmother, right? And if you feel it's getting abusive, if you feel it is getting you can intervene, but then you don't intervene as, who are you to tell this, right? You intervene as, okay, what are you trying to tell, what are you trying to do here, right? So what I'm trying to say is that we can play with our situation and learn from it only when we take off that baggage, take off that responsibility from our head, saying that, oh, whatever happens, I am responsible for this. No, you're not. They are responsible for their life and you are responsible for your life, right? So it's the responsibility of the child growing is on the child, because the child will grow irrespective of what you do, don't do, right?
Yeah.
So why do you feel, or not just why do you, but we somehow feel that we have this responsibility to shape my child into this ideal something? But it doesn't work that way, does it? So yeah.
One
No,
thing
we couldn't hear you, Sendil.
Sorry, sir.
We always feel she's responsible for our. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, she always feels that she is responsible.
Yeah.
The situation is uncontrollable. She says, I lost.
Actually, I have a lot of questions about that, but then the session will be full of my question. That's why I'm keeping quiet.
I just want to put one thing about this, Diva, for you. Like, my parents are staying with me. So same thing, even in the first, I was also facing the same thing. Like Preeti said, ki now she is really, what about the school? And like over here in Bhopal, in Madhya Pradesh, everything is now open fully. So schools are also open. So now everyone, now you put him back to the school. Are you going to put him back to the school? All these questions even I'm facing. Fine with that. But about you, Diva, I think, I don't know about others, but in my case, my parents are also very orthodox and they are putting everything, when my son goes and sit with them, my mother is watching serials and he keeps watching it, and I don't want him to watch serials and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, one day he watched, second day he watched, third day he got bored and out. No, I don't want to watch this. So he said, Nani, when you switch on, then I'll come in your room. So they decide whatever they teach, fine. But it is, I tell you, it is a child who decides what is right and what is wrong. They'll themselves decide, yeah, mujhe ye karna hai, I have to do this and I'm not going to do this. It is sometimes, even I get, no, don't say this to your nani, and they feel bad. So he was very clear, no, if I don't want to do it, I will not do it. I know they are right, but I don't want to do it. It is my choice. So trust your child and have confidence. He'll make a right choice. Your child will make a right choice no matter what. They are more intelligent than us. I think so. So don't be so stressed ki, what all he's taking from his grandparents. They'll take a good thing from them also.
Thank you.
And one point I would like to add, when you expose child to all of this, he responds really well to grandparents. If he has to explain, right, he'll explain absolutely well. I have seen my son explaining a lot of things to my dad. So clearly he puts his points that even I cannot explain my dad. So just let him pass through. He will do really good job in explaining others. If he has to tell no, he knows how to tell no. He will tell no properly. You would at least hesitate. He won't hesitate.
I agree. I agree with that.
About this serial, I'm not worried about the time he's spending in front of TV or anything. It's just about the content, which I don't want my child to learn when he's 8.
Don't do that. He'll forget after a while. He'll forget. If he wants to keep it, he'll keep it. Otherwise, he'll just forget and move on with that. I'll give you one example.
I guess Shika, we will want to wait. I want to move ahead. More questions. We are more moving towards what I would call as parenting aspects, which is fine, which is important. But possibly this is not the right forum to get too much detailed into that. I think you got one important perspective of trusting or believing in the child. Let's work on that perspective. Yeah, more questions. We have about 15 more minutes to go. So I would invite more parents, especially parents who have joined in for the first time. You can just share wherever you are, whatever thoughts you have. Subin and Ashwini were there. Chaitra is there. A lot of people today. There is somebody who signed in as Zoom user. Can you please rename to your actual name so that we get to know you? Others, whoever has a question or a thought, let's come back to open learning.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, Subin, we can hear you. If you can on your video, that would be a bonus.
Actually, after attend this meeting, then only I can realize I'm doing also the open school. What we are feeding to the child is like, suppose we need to teach them the map. So what we have done is we have purchased the map and we have shown them the locations and capitals. So we didn't follow any like particular syllabus and all. And Unify, which I mentioned, that useful for Montessori system of education. So for that purposes, we have used that Unify. Then I heard a lot about ROE systems and a lot of achievements, and there won't be any particular syllabus like that. I would like to join with your team, so really. We're so eager to join with the ROE community.
Sure. And this is the right starting place where we meet and we kind of throw in our initial questions and thoughts and get to know each other, and then you can definitely be part of the community. More questions?
We don't have much more questions because whatever questions raised in with us, we already discussed with one of the community persons. So
Sure. Great. Yeah. So that's others also. If you would like to connect with other people in the community, you can write to me and I can send you contact details of other parents and you can directly connect with them if that works for you. If you want to ask questions here, you're most welcome. Yeah, Jolly.
So a nice discussion, very helpful discussion, and just took place for me. It was very helpful. Actually, I'm going through the same thing that Diba just shared. So it was good. One thing I wanted to ask you, you said we can be a part of Arohi online, or we can visit it physically, be there. So how is that? Like, can we go there and stay for like a week, or if you want to
Yeah.
stay for more time? So how is that thing?
Yeah, minimum is 1 week. So the first thing would be to go to the website. There is a calendar. You can see the calendar and see which weeks are open for guests to come and stay. A minimum stay is Monday to Friday, but you can stay for multiple number of weeks. So it's not limited to 1 week, but minimum is 1 week. I'll post the link here also, but you can just go to the website and click on the visit link. And the form to register and all that is there. So yes, come as a family, stay here as a family, because for us, all the people in the family are open learners. So if 3 of you come, 4 of you come, for us, 4 open learners have come. It is not, Aro is not for your child. If your child wants to come, we'll say, no, 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 we can't take children. We have to take families. And that is how the whole community works.
Okay. So the other members, they visit like this, do they get together? Like say they spend months together, or they just spend weeks and go back to their homes, and from online you carry on with your learning stuff?
It depends on each individual family, how they want to.
Okay.
There is no one way of doing it.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Arpita is asking, can we bring our dog? Arpita, not really. Actually, I'll have to say a no for that because it's a very open, wild campus with lots of other animals here. We're not very sure if we can accommodate a new dog. You know, all the wildlife around, including pet life, wildlife around gets kind of disturbed in that sense. So. Not very sure we can do that, at least not initially. First, you can come without that, without your dog, and then see how things are. And then we can take it from there.
Ratnesh, one last question.
Sure.
Actually, for a week, I was waiting for this call for me to relieve from something. I don't know what is that, but like whatever I wanted to tell my child, I was thinking like, oh, no, wait until the Arohi call. I want something to be cleared and then I will talk to him and then I will suggest him and then I will do something. I don't know what is that, but I was waiting for this 1 week for this call. So now I feel like one question is, I should not suggest anything to him, like, because when he is watching TV, I always tell him watch for 1 hour, not more than that, but he never listened to it. Until I say this is already 1 hour, switch it off, he is watching. If he reads book, he is reading it for the whole day. But as of now, we are in a different atmosphere. He doesn't have his regular things around, his toys or Legos or anything, because we have relocated. He doesn't have any of his regular things. So he doesn't know what to do. So he is playing around with the family members, teasing them or doing something to them, and they are shouting at him back. This is what is happening, and they are coming and complaining to me, your son is doing this and that. But I don't know how to manage this situation. So as per the open learning, you guys are telling that he knows what to do, but when he doesn't know what to do, how can I take him to the how can I direct him? That is my problem now.
Sure. Pranav, Preeti, Rekha, Abhilash, anybody?
I'll try and attempt. I don't know if I have any right answer to this. The thing is, first, you yourself identified the reason he's probably doing what he's doing because he has nothing else to do. So there is no issue with the child per se, in the sense there is nothing wrong. It's very natural for him because he's missing his stuff, and probably it's a human emotion that he's undergoing certain kind of whatever. For him also, there's change, there is shift. So at his age, he's trying to cope with it. So I think that there is nothing to address there in a way. But of course, you can have a dialogue, you can have a conversation with him. talking about, what is your concern and what's happening, probably why you have moved, why you have relocated, what's the background of all this. So probably he understands that, and probably tries to, so you as a family can cope with it. So you make him understand, not just tell him what not to do, not on the behavioral part, probably just make him understand the situation better. If that works, having that kind of a conversation. So I would do that, but I don't know if it's the right or wrong answer.
Thanks, Pranav. I think that's very valuable.
So I have that kind of an answer. Wherein, firstly, few things that you yourself said, and few things you also said, that my child doesn't know. If he doesn't know, then how will he do? So the thing is, if you feel that he doesn't know, then sit with him, talk with him, discuss with him, make a kind of a day chart or day planner or something, wherein you guys all discuss together what do you want to do, what else you want to do, what we can do together, how can we play together, can we have some board games or something that we can play together, can we do some kind of anything that interests you, your husband, your child, all three of you, what all can you do together? So how you can make this time, like, the best of your family's time. So that can help, that surely can help. Talking is, I think, most important.
Yeah, Diba, the key word we talk about in open learning is co-create. It's not that the child has to create. It's not that I have to create something for the child. So neither I am responsible, nor child is responsible, nor child has a freedom, nor I have a freedom. But together we can do a lot of things. We can co-create options, opportunities, possibilities, co-create our days, weeks, co-create our interests, co-create our boredom, co-create our frustrations, and so on. So open learning is all about co-creation. And that is what Preeti and Pranav have been saying, that as a family, you can do that. And I think what Preeti kind of touched upon, but I would magnify it by saying, isn't it a beautiful opportunity for the family to bond together? Right? Like you had in Malaysia, an opportunity to grow things and pull out the weeds and do things as a family. Here also, now there are more people in the family, even better, right? More people to interact, more people to learn from, more people to, if nothing else, just develop a lot of social and self skills, right? But the co-creation part has to happen. We can't expect the child alone to do it, nor we are expected as parents to do it for the child. Yeah. So that is the beauty. Otherwise, we tend to feel, oh, I am the parent, I have to somehow fend for the child, create things for the child. No. Let's do it as a co-creation. And it is not just about your situation. It's about my open learning and Preeti's open learning and Rekha's open learning. Everybody as an open learner, we are all the time co-creating our lives. That's the core keyword of open learning, the co-creating first within the family. And if you are then further part of a larger group, like let's say ROE community, then co-creating within the community.
And trust me, while doing this, you will see such a huge expansion of yourself. Not forget about the child. For your own self, you will realize that, oh my God, what was I doing really? Means you will learn so many new things, so many new fundas of life. It will be an amazing journey if you really start doing with your child.
Yeah, what Preeti is also hinting at, without saying it, is that we have to be open to learn. Open learning is not for the child. Open learning starts with me. I have to be open to learning. So maybe I have to learn what he is interested in. He will learn what I am interested in. And that's again how the journey goes.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Ashima is asking, I'm assuming it's Ashima and her husband asking that, okay, how do you join the community? Well, as I said, you've already taken a good first step, which is to join in this meetup. I would suggest come for a few more meetups, to have more questions, listen to more discussions, participate in it, tell us what is happening at your in your family? How are you looking at this open learning? And when you think that, yeah, now I'm kind of at least getting into this and I want to be part of the larger community, that's it. There is no other formality. You don't have to think about the kids' age. Them being 3 and 5 years is immaterial, because as we said, open learning isn't about your children. Open learning is first of all about you and the whole family. So if you can connect online, if you can connect with different people, that itself is an amazing start, right? The child doesn't have to be part of anything. You have to be first part of it. And then automatically a lot of things will start connecting and happening. Yeah, whether you come to the campus or you join the online community, any which way, the more important thing is first, you have to jump into the pool and enjoy that. And the children will automatically, in their own way, not in the way we want them to, but in their own way, they will find how this whole thing is working out for them. So there is no one answer, but yes, I would say just start by coming to this Saturday meetups, maybe 1 or 2 more. And when you feel, yes, this is what we are thinking at home and we want to be part of the community, you're most welcome. We can help you be part of the community. Did I answer your question, especially with respect to the age of children?
Yeah, yes, you did. Yes, thank you so very much. Been kind. And can I, how to add another number to the channel, mobile number, wherein I can also get the updates?
Oh, there is a Telegram group. You can be part of the Telegram group. If you have, or on the Telegram app, I can post you the link of the Telegram group in just a minute.
Perfect. Many thanks.
Yeah, the link was also sent to you in the mail when either you or Ashima would have registered. In the mail, the link to join the Telegram group is there. So you can pick it up from there also.
Perfect. Many thanks.
Okay, I think we are almost at 6:30. That's the time normally we pause. Obviously, we use the word pause because we are there every week. And if you are wanting to explore this more, if what you heard or interacted with sounded exciting, then keep joining us. That's the link of the Telegram group if you want to be part of. I've already posted the link to the visiting page on the website if you want to visit and stay here. So we'll pause here, and thank you for joining, and thank you for listening, and thank you for participating. And yeah, let's keep the communication, the discussions going, because that's the way to start understanding open learning. Whether you finally do it or not, that's not important. Whether you finally or partly do it, or whichever way you do it, that's absolutely, as many people were saying, that it's all, there's no one equation. There are so many, as I think Pranav was saying. So each family does it in a different way. And Vijay is reminding again to, let's go back to playing. Vijay, this was also a kind of